ancient Greeks were a very influential group of people. One of the greatest influences that they had was the influence that they had on modern drama. Two of the most important pieces of Greek theater are that of Oedipus Rex by Sophocles and the Orestian trilogy by Aeschylus. Oedipus Rex has the tale of a king whose kingdom is beset by several problems. And the only way to solve these problems is to figure out who killed the last king. Now, as this goes on, one finds out a darker tale. As for the Orestian trilogy, one of the most important parts of that is the second part, known as the Libation Bearers. In the Libation Bearers, Electra, who is the daughter of Clytemnestra, plots to kill her mother for killing her father. Now, these are two very important pieces, not just because of their influence on theater, but also because of their influence on psychology. Most importantly, of course, is the Freudian psychology. The terms Oedipus complex and Electra complex come from these two plays. So, we decided to go around campus and figure out exactly how students would take the idea of what these complexes actually entail. When you were younger, did you fight with your father often? Not physical, but like you'd get into arguments.
So no knife fights.
Yeah, no knife fights.
Okay. We argued a little bit.
Okay.
There would be a lot of screaming, and he would cry a lot.
Okay. Now, is this because you actually wanted to sleep with your mother?
Absolutely not.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
When you were younger,
Yes.
did you fight with your father often?
Oh, no, never. I was always perfectly obedient. I believe it's the Fourth Amendment says to honor thy father and mother, so I always did what he told me to.
Well, did you ever feel bitter towards him? Like you wouldn't fight with him, but you would feel in your heart that that wasn't fair, or yeah, you wanted to punch him in the face.
Oh, yes.
You did?
Often.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, do you know what the Oedipus complex is?
Like immediately after 10 minutes.
It sounds Greek.
Yes, it is Greek. And it's fantastically Greek, in fact. The reason that you fought with your father is because you wanted to sleep with your mother. Would you say that's true?
No.
Like
No.
sexual intercourse,
No.
not just,
No.
you know, oh, time to go to bed.
No.
Like,
No.
not at all.
No. No.
Hello. Do you have time for a question real quick?
Sure.
Okay. So I was wondering, when you were younger, a wee little girl, did you get into fights with your mother very often?
Absolutely.
Were they like vicious fights?
Oh, I wanted to
man.
stab her in the face.
Yes. Now, this was because you wanted to sleep with your father, right? She's vomiting. She's vomiting. But that's why, right? Someone on this campus wants to sleep with their mother. And Freud said it was true, and I believe that man. So ridiculous. I have a quick question if you have time.
Sure.
Yes. Now, when you were younger, did you fight with your father often?
All the time.
He was had a deep-seated kind of emotional...
It's like if I could kill him without going to jail, I probably would.
Okay, all right. That's legit. Well, since you had such a bad relationship with your father, do you have a good one with your mother?
Well, yeah.
Do you love your mother?
Yeah, she's a good friend of mine. I really like her.
Now, like, would you sleep with your mother? Yeah.
Dude, that's gross.
I know. I was just trying, you know, it's for a project, I figured I'd ask you, yeah. So, yeah, maybe you would, right?
I mean, sure.
Like, really? Like, no, like, really? You would? Or,
No, I don't know. Dude,
where are you going?
I'll talk to you later, bro. It's cool.
No, where are you going?
I mean, I got places to go.
No, we're in the middle of an interview.
No, I'm sorry.
No, get back. Come on, this is real life. After looking at all these responses from students, I began to wonder just how right my reasoning was. Now, like, did I misunderstand something in the plays? or was I just totally wrong in my analysis? So I figured I would take it up with Dr. Jean Muto, who is one of the professors here at the Longwood Theater Department. So can you do a brief explanation of what the plays Oedipus Rex and Electra are about?
Well, a brief, that's difficult. Okay, Oedipus is about a man who is trying to outwit his fate, where he is prophesied to kill his father and marry his mother. And of course, we all know how that turns out. He's walking down the road. He leaves his kingdom of, where's it, Corinth, I believe, and goes to Thebes, so he'll be away from his ostensible parents, unbeknownst to him. Of course, he was adopted. Okay, he runs into this mean fellow on the road, a King Laius. He doesn't know he's king, but anyway, he kills him. Turns out that's his actual father. And he walks into Thebes, and they are undergoing some difficulties. And only through the solution of the riddle of the Sphinx can the city of Thebes be alleviated of its whatever difficulties it is. Congratulations, they make him king, which means that he gets to marry the widowed queen, who, of course, is his mother. They sire 4 children. And then a plague sets in through Thebes, and until the mystery of how the king was killed is solved, King Laius, the city will, suffer this tremendous plague. One thing leads to another. He discovers that it was he who killed his father, and he married his mother. Now, when the play is taught, it is always taught that it is Oedipus's excessive pride that is the great sin. I don't teach that. I teach it from the Freudian point of view. That Oedipus's great sin is that he has fulfilled every little boy's wish, which is to sleep with his mother. I don't mean that in a literal sense, but in the sense that he is trying to displace the father. The opposite is true in Electra. And of course, if we follow the story of Agamemnon, to go to the wars, to the Trojan Wars, sacrifices his daughter Iphigenia. Well, he goes off for 10 years, as we all know from the Iliad and the Odyssey, and comes back victorious, but Clytemnestra is still just a little pissed off that her daughter had to be sacrificed so that the boys could all go to war. Think about it. Well, he comes back, and by that time she has an affair with a, I think, nephew, somebody from the house of Atreus. He comes back, she draws him a nice little bath, and while he's bathing, they cut his throat. Well, Electra, of course, is more than miffed about this, and so she arranges in the subsequent play, after Agamemnon, which is called the Libation Bearers, she works complicitly with her brother Orestes to murder her mother. Okay, and so the Electra version of the Freudian adaptation or interpretation of that, opposite of the Oedipus complex, is the Electra complex, where she is obsessed with the father and wants to displace the mother, which she and Orestes do, depending on which version of the play you read.
Now, these plays were written, in the 5th century BCE. Why do you think they are still valid over 2,000 years later?
2,500 years later, absolutely. Because they deal with primal nature, primal natural impulses of people. And I think there's a great deal of value in that. The idea of this stage in little boys and little girls' progression, whatever age that is, it's somewhere probably between the age of 2.5 and 5, or 5.5 or 6, depending on the child's development. I think those are still absolutely true primal urges of children, just as we have primal urges in other aspects of our lives, to eat, to sleep, to procreate, etc. So they are talking about complete and utter truths back from 2,500 years ago. The Greeks were pretty smart.